first time we went out with Nancy, I will never forget. When I want to think a happy thought, that's what I think of, was that day when we went out and we saw about 2,000 common dolphins.
When I first started here in 1987, there was really nothing known about killer whales off the coast of California. No one had studied them, no one had identified them by the individual markings. They didn't know the family groups because they live in family groups.
In NOAA's prosecution of Nancy, they focused on one particular incident where she took blubber from a gray whale and allegedly used that to feed orcas. Because a NOAA bureaucrat decided that that behavior was a criminal violation of a regulation that prohibits the feeding of marine mammals without a specific permit, she was thrown into this 7-year nightmare.
Well, Nancy called me early in the morning, I guess it must have been about 7:30, and said, you know, she was crying, and this army of law enforcement officials had descended on her house.
When all this happened, I mean, I was so terrified. You know, if I was a drug dealer or doing something, you know, illegal that I knew I was doing, but I'm a business owner, a scientist, you know, I'm doing everything right as far as I can tell, because I'd never in a million years want to jeopardize my killer whale research. I mean, I just wouldn't. It
wasn't the FBI or Homeland Security, it was NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, that came to Nancy's door.
I could be facing 20 years in prison and, you know, $100,000 fine, confiscation of possibly my whale watch boats.
Overcriminalization is the phenomenon through which government agencies, usually administrative agencies, criminalize conduct through regulations, things that nobody votes on, nobody has a say in. In fact, most of the time, almost nobody even knows is happening. And as a result, that gives agencies the power, substantial power, over our everyday life and allows them to do to you and to me and to small business owners and to consumers and pretty much anybody what they did to Nancy.
I was just getting to the point where, you know, I just felt like I can't keep doing this anymore. You know, I'm gonna have to just give in. I just can't. But then Cause of Action came and, you know, talked to me. They heard about the story. They didn't feel like I was being treated right. Government was going way overboard in what they were doing.
Cause of Action's mission is to work for government accountability and transparency. We do this, among other things, by providing pro bono legal services to people like Nancy. She pled guilty to a misdemeanor. She agreed to pay a fine. There are provisions for some hours of community service. But we were very successful in the sense that the felony penalties were taken off the table. So she's now able to move forward with her life. She's able to get back to doing what she loves. We were able to stop what could have been a real travesty of justice.
I just hope and pray that she will be able to get her permit back and be able to continue on with her research so we can learn as much as we can about the largest predator in the sea out there, the orca whale.